Welcome back to Panda Recaps. Today I will show you a film from 2011 titled The Billionaire. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. Top is a 19-year-old boy who wants to take out a loan of $300,000 to build a factory. The bank manager asks him why he would lend so much money to a 19-year-old, whereupon Top begins to explain the events that have led him to this point. In high school, he liked to play games and owned a lot of rare items that he started selling for real money. This made him quite a fortune, as he was even able to buy a car and spent the money like there was no tomorrow. The school was fawning over him and he even managed to get a girlfriend. He became known as Bad Boy Top because he believes that rules do not apply to him. His parents do not approve of him playing games and want him to focus on high school and not be so wasteful with money. After graduating, he fails in getting into a public university, but he doesn't care about it and continues to play games. Although he spent his money on anything he wanted, Top was good at haggling and always got things with a little extra. Even though he manages to take care of himself, his parents are unhappy because he failed to get into a public university. He says that he got into a private university, which is expensive, but he can take care of the tuition. Later, he overhears his parents complaining about their financial situation, but he cannot help them because his game account has been blocked due to commercial activities and he does not have much savings left. Determined to help his parents, he buys cheap Chinese DVD players with all his remaining savings to resell them. Unfortunately, it did not work out because the supplier sold him faulty equipment and refused to take it back. Seeing that Top has failed, his father advises him to study and prepare for the real world. He gives him money for tuition, but Top refuses. He does not want to admit that his parents are right. Instead, he steals his father's amulet and pawns it, to pay his tuition and enroll in the private uni. He went to class, but kept thinking about how to get the amulet back, so he started skipping. Hungry, he decided to visit a food machinery exhibition and found an interesting machine that made baked chestnuts. This is an unexplored market in Thailand, so he decides to rent it for $1,500 per month. His parents are not thrilled with this idea. He learned from the street vendors how to weed out spoiled chestnuts, how to make them smell good so that his product would be first class. Even his parents, who did not support the idea at first, think his chestnuts are great. Top opened a shop in a mall with his uncle, but they had trouble attracting customers. When he goes shopping with his girlfriend, he notes a few tricks that merchants use to attract more customers. His bright idea was to change the location, but it did not help. Top's schoolwork is not going well either. During a test, he had to decide whether to pick up the phone or flunk out, so he decided to answer his uncle. The business was finally thriving, and to increase his profits, he opened more branches. His girlfriend heard about him skipping school and begged him to think about his future. She wants him to drop his chestnut idea. To make matters worse, his chestnut machine produced smoke and polluted the mall, so they had to cancel his contract and clean out all the branches. At the same time, his parents tell him that they have to move to China to live with his brother and sister because they are having major financial problems. He tells his mother that he will figure something out, but she remains stubborn. Just as he is about to take a picture for his passport, he bails and tells his parents that he is staying here. Before leaving for China, his father tells him to forget about the chestnuts and finish his studies. Later, Top learns that his house is pledged as collateral and will be seized by the bank. His girlfriend thinks he is cheating on her, but in reality he was so obsessed with his business that he had no time for anything else. He breaks down and apologizes to her. While he is taking her home, she gives him some fried seaweed that she brought from overseas. Top thinks it's delicious and wants to use it as his next business idea. He asks a professor how he can preserve the fried seaweed in a package. The professor tells him that he needs to use a vacuum machine to suck the oxygen out of the package and kill the bacteria. Determined to start his new business, he stops renting his automatic peanut cookers and buys new materials and tools. Unfortunately, his first attempt fails. The fried seaweed always tastes bitter. He sells his electronics to buy more raw seaweed. Although Uncle keeps persuading him to follow his parents to China, he does not give up hope of building a business. During a storm, when Top was on his way back home, Uncle had an accident and had to be hospitalized. That same night, a package of seaweed fell on the ground and rain poured on it. Top continues his experiments without Uncle, but has no luck either, because all the seaweed is bitter. When there is no raw seaweed left, he picks up the last soaked packet from the ground and after frying it, he finds that the texture is perfect and it tastes delicious. Sometimes great things are born by accident. Top visits his uncle in the hospital and gives him a taste of the seaweed. He loves it. They have reclaimed their selling spot at the mall and people are lining up to get some of that seaweed. He is so busy that his mother has to remind him that it's his birthday. When his father calls, he tells his son to study hard and come to China next semester. He reveals that the family is $1.2 million in debt. Top's house is scheduled to be foreclosed by the bank. Thinking that no matter what he does, he will not be able to make that much money, he tries to get back to his studies. He picks up a snack at 7-Eleven, and as he walks away, he realizes that he could sell his product in convenience stores across the country instead of building his own stalls. The next day, Top visits 7-Eleven HQ, where he presents his product to the director. She rejects his proposal because his packaging design is too poor and the price is too high. Once again his girlfriend tries to cheer him up in the face of disappointment, but again it sounds like she does not believe in his success. If he studies, at least he can have a future. She offers to ask her parents to support him financially, but he refuses. The next day, Top asks a local designer to create packaging for his product. After repackaging, he brings it back to the office once again to show it to the director. But she is very busy that day and keeps him waiting. Finally, he gives up and leaves his snacks with a security guard. Then he calls his mother to tell her he is coming to China. Some office workers grab a package from the guard, and luckily his product is loved by the 7-Eleven employees. The office invites Top to a meeting with the directors. At the meeting, the director praises him for making a delicious snack. She adds that he has to produce 72,000 packs for 6,000 stores to become a partner. In addition, his factory will be inspected for sanitary concerns. He agrees to the requirements and comes to a bank. It turns out that he is applying for a loan of $300,000 to finance his new factory. The bank manager congratulates him for making it this far, but he rejects Top's proposal after learning that he is only 19 years old, his family has large debts, and his house will soon be auctioned off. Feeling defeated, he takes a photo for his passport and buys a plane ticket to China. He sells his car to buy back his father's amulet he pawned, but it turns out he has been cheated because he pawned it for $3,000, but the actual price is over $100,000. At gunpoint, the clerk scares him off. To make good on his promise to get the amulet back, he uses his family's old shop, which is being seized, as a factory. He hires employees and buys supplies with all the savings he has left, with the promise that he will pay the full amount later. If he does not, he will be put in jail. Because of his cold attitude towards his girlfriend, he sees that she has found someone else. He is sad because she loved him, but he pushed her away. After many preparations, the factory is ready and the director comes with an inspector. They are unhappy with the sanitation of the factory and find that Top is unfit. The director says that they will discuss first and the result will be faxed later. After they fix the problems in the factory, Top gets the director's approval. He is overjoyed and ramps up his production to meet the required number. As he prepares to deliver his snacks, Top hugs his uncle and expresses his gratitude. He also says that he will follow his parents' will to study and live in China if they fail again this time, because he has given his everything for this business. When he arrives at the warehouse manager says that his delivery is an hour late and cannot be accepted. He pleads with him, saying that he has sacrificed a lot for this. The warehouse manager takes pity on him and accepts his packages. He is relieved and calls his father to tell him that they can finally come home. After 2 years of working with 7-Eleven, Top has paid off his family's debt. Top also applies for a $12 million loan to expand his factory. He has over 2,500 employees and ships his seaweed to 27 countries around the world. At the age of 26, he has a seaweed farm in Korea and had sales of $43 million in 2010. Once you give up on your dream, then it's really over. The end. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this.